Good day, madam. We are from L4 Critical Thinking Group 3. I am Lim Si-han, and my teammates have Emily Ng Xian Nhi, Ho Hui Sing, Marcus E. Wei Ming, Lim Ho Zhe, Evan Hong Chi Yang, Aiden, and Gam Tam. In this case study, we will explore whether the abolition of examination brings negative impact to students. Examinations are commonly used to assess student academic performance in school. In recent years, some people have suggested abolishing examination as a way to reduce stress among students. However, the removal of examination may lead to several negative effects on students' learning and discipline. Therefore, this presentation, we will discuss whether the abolition of examination brings negative impact to students. I agree that the abolition of examination brings negative impact to students, especially due to loss of a structured monitoring system. Examination act as checkpoint that allow teachers to track students' academic progress. Through exam, teachers can clearly identify students' strengths and weaknesses, as well as detect learning problems at an earlier stage. Without examination, it becomes more difficult for teachers to monitor students' learning performance. Students who are falling behind academic may not be noticed in time, especially in largest classroom. As a result, these students may lose confidence and gradually lose interest in learning. Therefore, they may become less motivated to participate in learning and complete their schoolwork. Furthermore, examination can cultivate students' sense for responsibility and discipline. This cycle of revision, assessment, and feedback helps students maintain focus and self-discipline. Without this structure, students may feel less responsible of managing their learning and behavior. Therefore, the abolition of examination can negatively affect both students' academic progress and overall classroom environment.
I strongly agree that the abolition of examinations has brought negative impacts to students. Exam actually gives students clear goals and also directions. And without them, many students lost a sense of purpose in their study. Without a clear target, students can become disengaged from school activities and structured learning, leading to a loss of motivation and interest. Some students may even start procrastinating or skipping classes. This lack of engagement can also lead to disciplinary problems. According to a report by Sina Harian, after the removal of exams like UPSR and PT3, students have struggled to stay focused in their learning, which has caused a rise in disciplinary issues such as bullying, fighting, and so on. In addition, teachers also expressed concern to abolition of these exams. A report by the WIPE stated that teachers consider removing UPSR and PT3 is a huge mistake because exams firstly help students develop responsibility, self-discipline, and motivation to study. In conclusion, I highly agree that removing examinations can negatively affect students by removing motivation, eliminating clear academic goals, and raising the risk of students engaging in disciplinary problems. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Emily, and I'm here to support the argument that the abolition of exam brings negative impact to students, with the point that the abolition of public examinations such as PT3 and UPSR has led to an increase in bullying and school violence among students. According to the Student Discipline Court System, cases of bullying and school violence surged significantly from 3,883 cases in 2022 to 7,681 cases in 2024. One possible reason is that lower academic engagement may lead to behavioral issues, as students with excessive free time or lack of clear direction become more susceptible to unhealthy peer influence and disruptive behavior. In this regard, Rakama Singh argued that reintroduction of examination could not only improve academic standards but also help students remain disciplined and focused. This in turn may reduce excessive screen time and online gaming, thereby limiting student exposure to harmful online content. I agree the argument is valid, as the data from Student Disciplinary Court System and the below evidence provided strongly support the view that discipline problems increased following the abolition of examinations. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ivan, and I truly agree that abolishing exams could lead to disciplinary issues, as it could increases the chances of procrastination and decreases motivation among students. Basically, without examinations, this could actually bring a lot of negative impacts to students, such as students will not comprehend the significance of time management skills. Moreover, students will procrastinate in their homework, revision assignments, and of course, examinations. Abolishing examinations could also cause them to obtain the lack of exposure regarding time management skills and awareness about the importance of spending time wisely. Now, this issue is very vast among students, regardless whether if they're in primary, secondary school, or in university. And should exams actually be abolished, this will lead to students will not take their educations very seriously. And this can also impact on their lives as they step out into the working society. Therefore, I think it is imperative that exams must not be abolished because according to an article titled The Effects of Elimination of National Examination on Students' Graduation Standard Assessment, which was published by Rizky Akmalia. According to her, she stated that by eliminating examinations, it could negatively impact students, as in they will lose their motivations and reasons to study more seriously and feel that they have no preparation for the grades that used when registering for secondary school. Henceforth, by abolishing examinations, it could result in hindering the development of essential skills like time management, planning, and prioritizing recognition.
In my point of view, I believe that the abolishment of exam caused the students to have poor preparation for future challenges due to poor time managing skills. Examination plays an important role in developing students' time management skills. During exams, students must allocate limited time to different questions, which teaches them how to plan, prioritize, and work efficiently under pressure. These skills are essential not only in school but also in real-life situations. Without examinations, students may not experience this structured pressure and may struggle to manage their time effectively. In addition, higher education relies heavily on deadlines, time assessments, and formal examinations. University students are expected to handle multiple assignments within strict time limits. Students who are not exposed to examinations earlier may find it difficult to adjust to these demands, leading to stress and poor academic performance. This issue also extends into workplace. Many jobs require employees to complete tasks within tight deadlines while managing several responsibilities at once. Students who lack time management skills due to the absence of examination may struggle to meet professional expectations. Finally, when examinations are abolished, students may feel less urgency to study because there are no fixed deadlines. This often leads to procrastination, poor study habits, and inefficient use of time, ultimately affecting their readiness for future challenges. With that, I will pass to the next presenter.
I agree that the abolition of exams will create a negative impact towards students. So in my perspective, when the examination system is abolished, we would need to have an alternative grading system, but it won't benefit to all students in an equal manner. So we can see this in terms of schools, where different schools would have varying levels of interpretation of how they're going to judge their students' academic performance. So we may refer to an example where a school that is based from a city-based district would have a more stricter interpretation of judging their own students' academic performance compared to maybe a school that is based from a rural district that may have a more lenient approach to it. And we can also see in terms of teachers as well, because teachers are now going to be judging students' academic performance using their own professional judgment and perspective. Of course, they are going to have their own individual judgment and perspective. So we may look into an example where maybe a more older teacher have a more traditional view of how a student's academic performance should be compared to maybe a more younger teacher that may have a more modern interpretation of a student's academic performance. And because teachers are going to be spending more time in classes to grade students' performance compared to just teaching in general, they're going to be more focused towards the students that take a proactive role inside their classes compared to, say, an introverted student that may take a less active role inside their own classes. And of course, a more well-off student would have more resources to express their creativity in their schoolworks like their homework or project compared to a struggling student that may lack the resources needed for their own creativity.
I agree that abolishing exams will cause a negative impact, mainly because it weakens the merit-based opportunities for scholarships and higher education. Traditionally, scholarships have been used to reward students who achieve higher grades, with strong test scores, or demonstrate their special talents. These awards serve as recognition of effort and excellence, motivating students to work hard and aim for the best results. However, if exams are abolished, scholarships will no longer be tied to academic performance. Instead, they may be given based on financial need, diversity, or simply to help universities to attract more students. This shift changes the focus from rewarding achievement to promoting fairness and access. While this may benefit disadvantaged groups, it creates a disadvantage for middle-income students who often fall in between. They may not qualify for need-based aid, yet also lose out on merit recognition because exams and performance measures are no longer the main criteria. As a result, these students are left without proper support, even though they may be working hard or capable. Another concern is that universities may begin to promote scholarships more like discounts, using them as marketing tools to increase enrollment rather than as genuine rewards for excellence. This undermines the original purpose of scholarships and reduces their value as a symbol of achievement. Over time, students may feel less motivated to aim for top grades since the link between effort, performance, and reward is weakened. In conclusion, although abolishing exams may create fairness and opportunity by widening access, it also risks pushing aside recognition of achievement. Hardworking and high-achieving students will also receive less acknowledgement, and scholarships will become more about keeping schools financially stable and inclusive rather than rewarding the best.
I agree that abolishing exams will lead to decline in critical thinking under pressure. Examinations play a crucial role in shaping not only what students know, but how they think. Too often, exams are dismissed as mere tests of memory. In reality, they demand far more analytical reasoning, problem solving, and the ability to synthesize ideas under the strict time limits. Students describe exams as intense and challenging, and it is precisely this intensity that compels them to prioritize information, manage them effectively, and make sound judgment under stress. This skill is not confined to the classroom. It mirrors the demands of professional life. Lawyers must argue persuasively in court, doctors must diagnose emergencies swiftly, and business leaders must negotiate under deadlines. Each of these scenarios requires clear, critical thinking under pressure, the very skill that examinations cultivate. By transcending rote memorization, exams foster deeper understanding and creative application of knowledge. They build resilience, discipline, and accountability. Abolishing them would erode this vital training ground, leaving students less prepared for the competitive, high-pressure environments they will inevitably face. Therefore, while exams may be stressful, they are indispensable. They are not obstacles to learning, but stepping stones towards resilience, fairness, and professional success. Thank you.
After taking all points into consideration, we conclude that the abolition of examinations actually bring more negative impacts than impacts to students. This is because, as stated by Ivan and Hui Sing, the removal of examinations lead to increase of procrastination and low motivations. As students no longer have clear academic goals to work towards, this result in poor time management skill and also increasement of disciplinary problems. Besides that, as was stated by Emily, the lack of structured assessment may contribute to a rise in bullying and also disciplinary problems, as students who lose academic focus are more likely to engage in destructive behavior and be influenced by negative peer pressure. Moreover, Siham pointed out that the abolition of examinations weakens academic monitoring, making it difficult for teachers to identify students' strengths and also weakness. Marcus also argued that the alternative assessment system may be unfair due to the difference in grading standards between teacher and also school. For example, some schools may grade 70 marks as an A, while others may require 80 marks for an A. In addition, Aiden noted that the absence of examinations reduce merit-based opportunities such as scholarships. This may reduce opportunity for students who want to further study. Furthermore, Hauser and Gautam emphasized that students may be poor prepared for future challenges. As a result of the discussion, we strongly believe that the examination should not be completely abolished. Instead, they should be improved and balanced with other assessment methods to ensure students remain motivated, disciplined, and well prepared for future challenges. So that's all about our discussions. Thank you.